forgot to get some lead up.
We had some good little lead ups. We had good stuff right there.
People are going to get really upset.
People don't care about the lead up.
You don't care about the lead up. I've noticed. You never comment about how good the lead ups are once these episodes come out.
I get a bunch of private DMs asking for better lead ups.
What?
Yeah, I do.
People are disappointed in the length of our lead ups?
Uh-huh.
They want them longer? Or they
Yeah.
want 'em-
Like, for example, this one should go longer.
See, and I set this up, so clearly I do care about the
I knew you were doing that, too.
Zach, what say you?
What?
All right, let's get into it. Hello, folks, and welcome to PuzzyBoyz, the only and therefore #1 podcast for real men who love their cats. My name is Nick Maritato, and I have a cat with such a fuzzy belly, and I just like to rub on it, and her name is Lily.
My name is Zach Broussard, and my dusty and crusty old lady is named Mochi.
My name is Danny Solomon, and my Santa baby is named Marv.
Adam Newman here. My white cat's given Christian name is Holiday, and my gray and white cat's Jewish given name is Greg.
And folks, you got to remember one thing and one thing only. When you're talking about PuzzyBoyz, when you're dealing with the PuzzyBoyz, it's all Z's, folks.
Mostly when you're typing it into the search bar. That's where
That's
you
really
have
what
to.
matters.
That's when you
Seriously.
got to
Here's what
remember.
I'll say: if you got time, look up the other one too. You don't have to fully focus on ours.
We're now sort of getting to the point of the podcast, like we've launched, we're there, we're a little bit more secure, and we're like, check out the S's. one
Honestly,
day.
it's kind of fun.
What's really fun is when people who are looking for Pussy Boys find the PuzzyBoyz.
That's true.
I enjoy that.
They love it.
Once you're done doing what you might do when you check out the S option,
Sit back, relax.
Then, yeah, when
listen
you're-
to an hour podcast on cats.
I think everybody, when they feel like they need to rest after a good spank, would love to.
Whoa,
Wait
Spank.
a minute.
Have a-
That's what they're doing.
We were just kind of beating around the old bush, but you started beating the old bush yourself.
It's
talking
time
about
to
these-
just let's break the illusion finally on this, the most sacred day of all days.
That's
whatever
right.
holiday
I
you
feel
like.
so bad that I didn't Christmas up my cat intro, and I feel bad about that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like Danny started it, and I wish dang. I
Mine
just
was a
blew
little
it.
religious, but
I
not
wish that
very
I said my
festive.
furry little present under my tree.
That would have been great, but you didn't, and we have to cut that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to try to just get a clean one in?
No,
Or
it's
just
fine.
the words, and you can edit it over.
Yeah. You want to go for it?
Just say fuzzy present.
fuzzy.
Sorry. Crowds.
Okay, there was clearly a technical mess up. We'll do this again. 1, 2, 3. Fuzzy.
Go ahead.
You're going to blow all 4 of your sound effects in the
Okay.
first 8 seconds of this podcast.
No, because this is our holiday episode, but we got to start this episode like we start every episode, and that is with This Week in Cat.
All right. Well, guess what happened to Holiday this week?
Fiv.
Diarrhea.
Oh, man. How many greenies?
You know, here's the mind-blowing thing about it, is I have 2 cats, and they both eat the exact same thing and the exact same amount of the exact same thing. I mean, maybe somebody gets a little extra treat. Maybe somebody eats an extra piece of dust off the floor or something, but I don't understand.
Maybe.
No, I'm telling you, they're being treated pretty equally. If anything, I'm giving Greg more because I love him more. But Holiday is the one who had a big blob of diarrhea, and Greg seems fine, and that's all. That's
Now,
what happened
where,
this week.
Can I ask where the diarrhea was?
Luckily, it was in the litter box.
Oh, that's not a big
No,
deal.
That's great.
No, this is more of a health concern than a cleanup
Oh,
concern.
yeah, I see. I
But we smelled like a holy shit. Holiday dropped a bomb, and then Deirdre went in there and was like, "Just so you know, Holiday had diarrhea, so you might want to keep an eye on Greg." And I went and fished out the Greg poops, and they were perfect.
There's a little more of a stigma, it sounds like, to cats having diarrhea. I mean, we have diarrhea all the time, and nobody gets worried
Literally
about
every
it.
day.
Sure, but that could be like, oh, you went out drinking and then you had IHOP or whatever. Like, if you had diarrhea, there's probably like, what did you do?
Yeah, there's a lot of random things. I remember living in New York. It was really hard to pinpoint what was causing my diarrhea.
Was it the bacon, egg, and cheese I ate for breakfast, or was it
Oh,
the bacon, egg, and cheese I ate for dinner?
Or the Sausalito egg and cheese I had for dessert.
Really a mystery. And turns out it was just the water. The water was
Could be
bad.
the water.
The
Or-
water, the
yeah.
smells in the air, honestly, I think made
Oh
me
my
shit
God.
myself.
Now,
the stress of living in the
Yeah, that too.
horrific
A lot of
city.
stress, a lot of there's weird diseases that the mice are bringing in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons to have diarrhea in New York, but this is not about them. This is about your cat.
we're goofing around a lot, talking about human diarrhea. It's one of our favorite topics.
We like to have
That's
fun.
what my old podcast used to be
That's
about.
right. But we need to ask you, is Holiday okay? I mean, I feel like we're being insensitive here because this could be some sort of a sign that something else is afoot.
Just to also diarrhea can be a loosely defined word, sometimes I think really when you think diarrhea, you're like, oh, you're constantly in and out of the bathroom. It's a longer problem than a one-time thing. This was, as far as we can tell, it was just one instance of it was one trip.
Can I ask just as you guys know,
friend?
I'm studying to be a veterinarian.
Oh, yeah,
you guys
right.
know. You guys all know
Yeah.
me. If I can ask a medical question really
please.
quick. And it's Holiday, right?
Yes.
When Holiday is sliding,
The one you think is hot.
the
The attractive cat.
when the sexy, beautiful cat,
Yeah.
Holiday, when Holiday is sliding into third and she feels a juicy turd.
Right, which is not diarrhea. It's a juicy turd.
Okay.
But
That's,
anyway.
I mean, I had never dissected that before, but that is absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah. Well, you can
I'll
hear
tell
all
you,
about it on my...
If it's a wet turd, it's not diarrhea, I guess.
And I gotta say, if you're ever sliding in a third and there's a wet turd there, I would say back out,
there.
folks. And I am talking about sexual baseball.
All right, how about we change it to when
we didn't get the question. Oh, sure, yeah.
when you're sliding into third and your asshole feels absurd.
That's good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If your asshole feels absurd, that's much more of a sign of diarrhea than here comes a juicy turd. Because, anything can be solid on the outside and juicy on the
Yeah,
inside.
and it could be diarrhea, or it could be just a Eugene Merman joke.
what is the
You know-
second? What is when you're
Dude,
going?
it's...
That's a tough one, right?
It's hold it another second, which is just
That doesn't
unacceptable.
work. I think we can do better.
I think we can do better than that, too.
When Holiday is rounding second, I guess I can't do better than that. That's really tough. Second.
I have heard when you're sliding into two and you feel a dew.
something goo.
Yeah.
You feel
Goo.
you feel a wet hot goo.
Sure.
Who slides into two, though? You don't
Yeah,
slide
that's
Well, that's why
You
when
don't
you
slide
round,
into
I
first.
think
Is high lie?
what I would say is when you round second base,
Yes.
and there's something hot and wet in your face.
In your face.
and
I'd imagine that Adam's holding Holiday.
Could it
really,
waft
but
in your
look,
face?
She's checking out Holiday's butt.
Does diarrhea waft?
when you're running,
There's two separate conversations going. Okay.
We need things that rhyme with the word base right
Oh,
now.
okay.
So let's think. Face was the obvious one. Doesn't really work.
I have a friend named Jace.
you
When there's
better pick up your pace.
Oh yeah,
When-
there's something's out of place.
when you're about to destroy the place.
When you
Okay.
shoot dookies into space?
First of all, this is the juicy turd problem. I don't know if dookies are going to be
All right.
diarrhea.
Well, something into space.
Yeah.
Where you should get another pair of pants just in case.
Yeah. I mean, if you're
That's-
doing that while you're rounding.
All right.
You got a lot
it's-
going on.
it's
First of
a
all,
lot happening.
that's how many people are fumbling the ball in the outfield. So it's like you have time to really think about all that.
It is all the rhymes that screws you up out there. Gets you hit in the head with a softball or something.
I'm sorry about Holiday. I hope that.
Yeah,
we're
Yeah,
okay for
I'm
the
so
best.
sorry
Sounds
about
like she's
Holiday.
dying, and that's horrible, and we shouldn't have joked about
Yeah,
it.
but it was
So-
enough stuff to fill a vase.
Oh,
All right, there we
Okay.
go. Let's
hate-
leave that as a placeholder,
I
and
hate
we'll come
to
back
keep.
to it.
I hate to keep talking about it because it is a tragic moment that happened this week. You know, you're having to deal with this diarrhea. What'd you do with it? Did you? Was it an easy scoop? You know, this is stuff we get into.
So Holiday, I don't remember if we've talked about it on this podcast or not. Anyway, maybe as a dominant thing, maybe as a whatever, has she tends to not bury her shit. Maybe as a territorial thing. So it was just sitting there, smelly, liquidy up on top, and me and Dear, she goes, whoa, and Dear, I went in there and saw what's going on, and you just you sift a little extra litter on top of it, and then you end up with a nice little clump.
Right. So you got to build your own clump, basically.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, build your own, build a dump.
And
Build a dump.
The next dump. Nice.
I didn't. There was no diarrhea, but they were dumps, and I don't know whose was whose. But I think she's been fine. Like I said, I think it was a one-time diarrhea episode.
I think they use the same litter box, right?
Yeah, they both use that.
I will
litter
say
box.
that we stumbled upon something, or we plopped upon something this week that is a tough thing for you. It's harder for you to navigate what's going on with what cat.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah, unless you catch them. And she came bolt running out of there. We smelled the smell. We checked it out, so we were able to catch that. But if it wasn't that, we would have had to. We wouldn't have known exactly, and we would have had to investigate further.
Yeah, the only way to tell which cat's poop is what is by taste. I'd imagine.
That's you're the veterinarian.
Yeah,
it's holidays.
Apprentice, veterinarian's apprentice.
It's holidays poop when it tastes sexy. So says Zach.
What is this, hot bitch?
Yeah, is this hot girl? This is what they mean by hot girl shit, right?
Summer?
So you can't tell their shits apart, huh?
Well, here's the truth. I kind of can.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait a minute.
Like,
I don't know.
No,
I don't
that's
have
not
it.
it.
I don't know. I don't know a better way to describe this, but Greg's tend to be when they're both healthy. Greg's tend to be a little flatter.
I don't know what I mean by they're like a little
Sure.
more like. Do you think his intestines are just like
yeah,
flat?
yeah. I think they're shaped a little more compressed intestines or
That's so
something.
cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just cute to think
Sure.
about.
And that his intestines are so flat because you hug him so much.
I hug him so much. We get the famous Greg flattened turds.
There it is.
Compressed turds.
Well, that has been This Week in Cat.
Adam's literally squeezing the shit out of his cat. I think that's
I
kind
love
of
it.
cute.
This week in chat.
Okay, we love that.
So if you're watching us for some reason, get out. But if you're listening to us, well, let us tell you that we're all wearing holiday shit right now. And there's a reason why we are wearing Christmassy Hanukkah stuff.
And it's because my wife went into the garage and got the decorations
right.
before we started.
Thank you, Deirdre. But there's the other reason is because it's the holiday season. Yay!
It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Meows.
Very nice.
All right. Well, we need one for Hanukkah with the two Jews over here. What do we got? Hanukkah? Is that the best thing we can do?
Meowseltoff.
Sure. It's not specific to
It's
the
on
holidays.
a Target sweater, man. I'm telling you.
I believe Jews wrote most of the holiday songs, so I think that I would say that.
Yeah.
Might as well just.
We've
they're
kind
all
of cornered the
same.
market on all business-related things.
Really respect.
That's
that.
true. We're definitely the ones profiting the most off your weird holidays.
And honestly, I love that no one is making any fucked up jokes about that. We're just letting you guys make all the money off of
You're
our
talking about no one
faith.
like on the planet.
No one on the planet at all. Here in this room or outside of this room, no one. We're all very cool
Yeah.
with the fact that you guys are just making gobs of money off of Christian holidays. Love
Well,
that.
listen, we don't care what nationality. Is it nationality?
No.
We got to get out of this.
We don't care what religion and.
I just wanted a Hanukkah cat pun. That's all I want a Hanukkah cat thing.
Yeah.
And it's okay if we don't find one.
Yeah, you'll get one before the end of this. Is your little Hanukkah wish that by the end of this.
There are no
Podcast.
wishes.
You get
that's
8
Not
wishes.
canon. Yeah, it's 8. You get 8 shitty presents.
I wish you guys liked Santa Claus, but I guess you're right. There are
We
no
grew up.
wishes.
We grew up with it. We grew
Hey,
up with
I
it.
have
I know
something. I have something for you. Instead of 8 crazy nights, how about 9 crazy lives?
Whoa,
Nah, that's good. That's good.
Deserves one.
I just want to really get us to stop talking about if
Yeah,
Jews
right.
are
Allow
a
me.
nationality, or I don't know.
Allow me to actually drop in our real topic for today, and that is cat toys. Because cats need gifts too on the holidays, and maybe you'll hear something that we talk about on this podcast that'll inspire you to get your cat that toy. Because right here in front of us, we have a plethora of our personal cat's toys that we all brought.
That's the sound of a cat toy.
That's the sound of a cat toy. We'll be hearing some sounds.
So is this.
That's it. And yeah.
It's not filled
Hold
with
on.
anything.
And then, of course, Marv's chicken that makes a lot of noise.
Motion sensor chicken. It might go off at any moment. And it's not a drop.
So, yes, we just want to kind of explore the world of cat toys, and it's quite a world. I did not realize how, and maybe this is going to launch right into our first sort of topic, but how sort of like picky a cat can be with the types of toys. I was a dog person, unfortunately, all growing up. A dog is very simple. Most dogs, mid-sized to big dogs, really just want a ball. You have a ball, you throw it to them, they'll get it, and some of them will bring it back to you. And a lot of them,
they get the ball, you never see them
you
again.
never see it again. You just can't ever see it again. It's very simple though, and that's kind of the world of dog toys. There's some ropes that you could play tug of war with, but what are other like dog toys?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It
We
doesn't.
don't need to talk about that on this podcast.
Well, I'm just saying because like just on this table, the differences in cat toys that I'm seeing is insane, and that goes to show you. People are constantly trying to figure out what can keep a goddamn cat entertained for more than 2
Well, I
minutes.
think it's twofold. I think that cats obviously have a capacity for play that is a little different than dogs.
They don't just want to hump.
Yeah,
is
they're a
what
little
it
more
is.
intelligent too.
Yeah.
They like the more sensory things, I think. Also, I think cat owners are more interesting and they're more creative.
That's
just-
definitely true.
I just
Now
wanna
that
say
there
we
is
all own them.
nobody more interesting than these four pussy boys right
That's
here.
right.
Let me
That's
just say
right.
that right now.
But look at these toys. They're very fun.
And we were just given the assignment to bring toys from our cat's home, steal them from underneath our cat's little hiding places, and bring them to display. And I can already see our cats are very different from each other in terms of their taste.
Do we want to talk kind of a little about like our first experiences with like going to buy your cat a toy? I mean, Adam, do you remember when you were a kid and did you ever purchase a toy for what was his name, Chunk?
When I was a kid?
Yeah, what was
my
your
cat growing up, that was Pudge.
Pudge?
Yeah, but that works. If it was he was a little fatty
So
dude.
Pudge is
Pudge is great.
back in the day. I mean,
I was
this
like
is
10 back then.
And then, do you remember if Pudge had like real toys? Because I didn't have a
do.
cat when I was a kid, so I
There
don't
were a
know.
couple toys that he loved. Oh my god, I just remembered. So the two that I remember the most were, I think it was a play. Now that I think about it, I think it was a play on Fats Domino because it was called Cat's Domino, and it was like a cardboard domino, like a big kind of rectangle on a little. Like a little seesaw kind of thing, and it had holes in it where you could put toys and treats in there, and he absolutely loved that. He loved that, and there was a glove that had like 5 cat toy hanging off each finger.
Oh,
and you
like
would
a Freddy Krueger.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
That's awesome.
And those
I
were
can't believe I've
probably
never seen that.
Yeah. Literally take like any glove. This for whatever reason I remember feeling like one of those like yellowy kind of dishwashing gloves or whatever. I don't know why it was made out of
Was
that.
this homemade?
No, this was like buy it at a Petco or whatever cat store we used to go to. And on the end of each thing would be like almost what you would find on any of the sticks with like a little jingly thing hanging off
What
it.
a
But
fun
it-
idea.
Yeah, and so it had 5. And I've
So
also
you just like,
yeah,
like
well, that's the thing.
evilly.
Pudge loved it. If I did that to Holiday or Greg, I know I've tried that with other cats that I've had, and they're horrified by it. It's too many. It's 5 toys in your face at a time. So
You're
it's
also
definitely too much for
fully
people.
nude at the time.
Yeah,
And I think
so
there's
it's like
just
6
a lot
toys.
going on.
As
wearing
Freddy
a
Krueger
penis
was.
5
glove.
normal
Yeah.
sized toys and 1 really tiny little guy.
Yeah.
What is it? Why is it so shiny?
I
don't
wonder if
know.
we don't see
Polished
those.
it.
Maybe we're just not looking, but I wonder if we don't see those gloves anymore because people have just decided it's like too many people get their like wrists slashed by like a stray claw.
That's possible.
Because I feel like if the glove didn't extend down kind of to the forearm,
I'm
my cat
imagining-
would just grab my forearm with her claws and pull the toys towards her
Right.
mouth.
I'm imagining like a falconer. I feel like you got to have like one of those full leather gloves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't believe it took this long for me to mention falconry.
And that's
That's
a new
on our
podcast.
it's on our Falcon Boys.
Falcon fucks. So yeah, I mean it's interesting. I'm glad I asked you that because I don't even know if I could tell you prior to Lily, like what a cat toy was.
To be fair, too, though, you didn't grow up with cats like I grew
didn't.
up with cats.
I didn't. But every cat I knew, like my aunt had cats, and I had I had friends that have cats. Like I don't remember like tripping over cat toys.
Is that not weird? Okay, for me, that's a little weird. Like if you come into our house, you see the cat tree has a thing filled with cat toys, and there's another thing filled with cat, and then there's a few kind of sprawled around because they're batting them around. Anytime I go over to someone's house and they have a cat or cats and there's no toys anywhere, I'm like, there's no way you just put them away. Every
You're a
time.
Grinch.
Yeah.
You think it's like religious, maybe?
Yeah,
I was
they're-
raised in a family where
I'll
cats
say-
are
what
not,
are
in
the-
this town. Cats are not allowed to dance.
What's the religion they knock on your Jehovah's Witnesses where they're like not allowed to celebrate? They don't celebrate holidays or birthdays or
Right.
anything.
Yeah,
So
they
those
hate
cats,
this episode.
yeah, those
I will
cats are
say-
homeschooled.
One thing that I feel like I don't know how I think we're all sort of different ages. Like Nick, you're like 14. I think Adam's 72. But I remember when I was like, I feel like right when I was in high school, we had a cat, and that's when laser pointers really got to be a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
And I feel like realizing that I could just have fun with my cat forever.
I'm gonna throw out a cat meow for that laser pointer because that is jogging a memory. That's the only thing I think I could have told you what a cat liked.
Most of my childhood cat memories were with outside cats, so toys were not a huge part of it. But I think laser pointers sort of
Rocks
superseded
and pellet guns were
Yeah,
more of your thing.
Yeah, just potato guns. You try to shove a cat in a potato gun, see how far you can launch it. Not far. But the laser pointers were just, we were having fun in high school. We're putting the lasers on the principal's face.
Oh,
Everybody
man.
was having fun with
Laser pointers, when laser pointers had their summer, like it was wild.
It was epic.
You had to like go to like an Office Max, and it was like behind a glass case, and they were like they were like expensive
until it started to like pop off like with kids, and then all of a sudden like you'd go to like some place in the mall. And all of a sudden, like behind the register were a bunch of laser pointers, and you're like, "Oh yeah, they were kind of like fidget spinners that you could like really ruin a presentation with."
You can ruin anything. I feel like there was a moment too where any like performance or someone on the stage you would see, like you'd think like SEAL Team 6 was moving in.
That's probably what that is what ended the boom of laser pointers, is that performers and sportsmen, athletes and the like, were getting laser pointers in their eyes in the middle of real important sporting events, and they got banned from the stadiums. And then what's the fun? What's the fun if you're not going to ruin someone's
You could probably get one in there now,
career.
though. I think we've waited long enough to start putting these in the eyes of our favorite athletes.
There's two different kinds of people. There's the kinds of people that take in a laser pointer to a game and they want to get it in the quarterback's eyes to throw them off. And then there's the other people that I think we're more like, where we just want to shine it on their butts and their fronts.
It's just funny.
And that's like, same thing with me and shoe mirrors, where it's like some people have certain ways they like to use a shoe mirror. Me, I'm just trying to get I just want a little light to shine places.
I just want to take a look at the old mug while I'm looking down at my feet during a concert.
It's a shoe mirror, guys. There's plenty of reasons to have shoe mirrors on your shoes. Anyway,
why do you own so many?
Because I got a lot of shoes.
That makes sense. All
so, just really quick, I remember like just the idea when like a laser pointer would like hit the screen, like at a movie theater or something. When you were a certain age, like it would kill. Like people were like, oh.
What I love about this, though, is we all have the shared experience of freaking out about laser pointers, and we know. So we experienced what it was like to be a cat. That's literally like
that's how excited we were.
That might be like the closest we've ever gotten to playing with something that cats also played with.
Yeah.
And I mean, now cut to me having a cat. And then I go to the pet. I haven't seen a goddamn laser pointer in years.
No, I think cats kind of decided that was over.
Well, no,
No,
if you
I
go
have
to a
two.
pet,
I got two in this apartment.
guys, I think what we do is let the person finish saying what they were saying, and
Sorry.
and all questions will be answered.
I read an article that people like podcasts more where their hosts are arguing.
No, fuck you.
Anyway, we'll just talk with some of this over. So they are the only place I was about to say, Danny. The only place I see them is PetSmart now. I only see them at a Petco. I don't really see them at.
I should have waited.
at
I should have
places.
waited.
There is and I got very excited the first time that I was out buying toys for my cat, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy some toys too. And then like I was like, oh, it's just like a light shine down on this laser pointer, and I'm like, holy shit!
It was
I made
a bigger
the connection.
laser pointer.
Yes, it was a red light, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like. Finally about to make the full connection with my cat. When I was her age, I loved laser pointers. I don't know that she's ever seen a laser pointer. I got those stupid fucking batteries you got to get, those little watch batteries that you have to pop in there. It probably cost me about $75. I bring that fucker home, I open it up, and this bitch didn't care at all. She didn't care at all. She doesn't care about a laser pointer.
I want to say this stumbles upon a deeper conversation here. There's like with a dog, you just have to get ball and it'll just work. What I like about getting a toy for a cat is not unlike getting a Christmas gift for a human. They may not like it.
Yeah, for a shitty kid.
Yeah, it's like a shitty kid because they'll be very honest. They just
Right.
they cannot fake it. like we wish they could.
You gotta get a gift receipt for your cat.
You gotta get a gift receipt because they are just they're mean girls. Natural mean girls.
How much money do you think you've spent on toys that your cat doesn't give a fuck about?
Mary's probably, my wife's clocking into, I mean, a couple $100.
I think I'm in the hundreds as well.
Easily in the hundreds.
And a lot of it is like costumes that wouldn't fit. So there's like, it's a broader scope of entertainment that is for Mary too.
Here's the thing. I've bought Marv a lot of presents over the years, a lot of little trinkets here's and there's that you see when you're at the store. And he doesn't really play with them, but he does hoard them in a small spot in like the under the shelf behind my couch, like a very private place. So I know that he's doing something with them because they move around at times. And I think what he does is he stores most of them in the spot. And then when he sees one that he feels like playing with during the night so that we don't ever get to see him actually enjoying the money that we spent, he takes them out at like 3 a.m. and he plays with like one or two of them. And then he puts them back in his little chest.
Him collecting it is kind of cool.
Yeah, he does drag them like into a... If I take something out from there, if like we're cleaning under there, I take a bunch of toys out. Next day, they're back in there.
You know, this kind of all sort of, connects with my theory that Marv is like the pod boss in your jail cell. And like he's got all the honey buns. He's got the stock under his bed.
Okay.
And he's like, no one's coming near the honey buns. You want a honey bun, you got to come through me, Marv.
If Danny wants to play with the crinkle ball, he's going to have to do a little something special for Marv.
Honestly, I do like to break out the little basketball that he plays with when company is over, and no, he doesn't let me do it.
He don't like it. Now,
That's a good point, though. That's a good point, though, about them playing with the stuff that you spend money on when you're not looking, because like I think I've said before, Holiday sleeps out here when we're in the bedroom, and every now and again we'll just hear like this like guttural meowing. And the first time we heard it, I was like, oh no, Holiday wants to sleep in the bed with us, and she's out there alone. That's so sad. And we came out to check on her, and she wasn't anywhere near the door trying to get in. She was over in the other room, just batting a toy around. Like just late at night, she meows and knocks her toys around, and it's just like her little routine. But it had nothing to do with anything. That's the main time that she plays by herself.
I have a theory about cats that they're nocturnal. Is that a theory? Is that a theory, or is that real? I can't ever tell what's science or real science.
There's actually, we did talk about this maybe on another episode, but it's actually not nocturnal. It's some other word that I've completely forgotten, but it's like they're not nocturnal or diurnal. They just sleep off and on throughout the day, and there is no time to that. There's no day or night. It's just all.
Now that's true.
I don't remember talking about. I don't remember talking about that exactly because that was mind blowing.
Well, so
really
I don't think we
really
actually. I think you saved that one, but that's good for the holiday app.
Yeah,
that's right. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Save
holidays.
that one for our Fur 20 up too.
Yeah,
I think.
all right.
Yes.
Talking about space and time for cats.
But
the Fur 20.
I assume that Lily seems like she comes. I've mentioned this before. Lily has a mode that we call Night Cat at about 10 p.m. I feel like I'm seeing real Lily. I feel like all during the day when I see her, it's like her getting up like to pee like in the middle of the night. And the rest of it, it's like as soon as we start winding down, all of a sudden this fucking cat lights up.
Oh yeah, same around here.
And so
I get that.
I think that, I think Holiday's playing with those toys at night just because it's like, hey, this is like my playtime. It's during the day. I'm awake. I'm alert. I want to be active. And look at us, fucking humans sleeping through the night.
Well, this is why the chicken has been so beneficial for my research on Marv and his habits.
And the chicken is the toy you brought.
The chicken
Yeah,
is the
I know.
toy
I love
that
how you
is-
just assumed
that
everyone
it-
knew what the chicken was.
We
at
just
home
talked about
listening.
it. It's a motion sensor. I'll just play it for the folks again.
Okay.
Exhibit C.
Oh my god.
So
Sometimes it legitimately sounds like a human baby.
Yeah,
This-
it sounds like my kid crying, and so I don't love it.
I know, and it's gotten me to a point of near insanity as well because it is so easy to trip. Like, not only is it just walking by it, it'll set off the motion sensor, but it feels like even when I put it in my backpack to bring it over here in the car, when I would hit a bump, it would go off also. And it kept doing that over and over again. And I just want to kill this thing, but Marv likes it. And I know that because I can hear it all night. clearly he's doing something with this chicken.
So we know. Well, he's doing
Choking.
I don't like the way he said that.
He's doing something.
Clearly, he's doing something with the chicken.
I can write down the times. I know exactly when it's happening.
I would like you to do that.
I
like
wanna
you staying up
log.
all night logging.
Yeah,
I
log
will.
that.
We
you
should.
scared as hell in your room. Just be like, oh, I think he's having sex with the chicken.
Let's
Just
all get.
marking your little lines on your set.
We should all get motion activated, super loud and annoying toys for our cats to see who's playing.
I like the idea of when you said motion activated, I thought you were going to say cameras, and I do love the idea of having a little pet cam when I leave or for at night to see what they're doing.
Mary wants one really bad.
I don't think it's that expensive. I think on Amazon you get some
I
pretty.
don't
They're
know.
really cheap.
don't want to know.
Okay, so I mean, this is a different topic, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about it for a second because Ashley and I were talking about this too. It's the holidays. We're going away for the holidays. And I'm just like, every time we do this, I'm like, why don't we go get the stupid ring cam that's like $50 that you just plug in the corner of the room? But I'm not too sure. I'm going to check in, like, I'm in New Jersey and I check in like at, the middle of the night or whatever. And then it's like, I see Lily just like sat on the couch.
Yeah, it's too tempting
Oh,
I'm
to,
just
to
like,
keep
what if
looking.
I just want to pretend like, she's having a great time. She's on the refrigerator doing all the cool shit that we won't let her do. But instead, I think she just sits in one spot and waits because she's shedding and I could see the spot that she sheds in and just
you don't want
watches
to be
the door.
reminded by what actually happens while you're gone, which
You're
is nothing.
right.
Right.
Now I have a
You're
theory that, like the way Nick has a theory, I have a theory.
Yeah.
And this is we
It's
know
a scientific podcast, so
it's a scientific podcast, and we know that they're not nocturnal. But I think that. Do you think we're all just like loud walkers during the day, and so our cats are just sort of cowering, and then when we slow down or go to sleep, they're like, "Fucking finally, I can play."
Not a
little bit."
bad theory, Zach. I'll be honest, not a bad theory
Yeah.
because I am always surprised at like the little emotion that I put out and Lily's ears are up and then ready to leave.
Yeah,
Like,
I just think that like we are huge. We're huge, especially me, fucking huge guy.
You're a
For
big
those
guy.
listening at home, I am just a big giant man.
6'8", 350.
Yeah, what's the guy with the mountain from Game of Thrones? Very similar to that. Very similar build, high voice. That's funny.
you're like a smaller mountain.
I'm a
I wouldn't
big
call it-
hill,
you're not
big
a hill,
like a knoll.
Yeah.
They call me the knoll. Yeah, I just
Noel
my thought,
today.
The Noel. I think that our cats are a little skittish because we're just busy people. First of all, we live and work in Hollywood.
I agree. Even if they're not terrifying
The
of
fax machine's going off constantly during
Right.
the day.
Getting calls on my car phone.
And it's just me just going, I accept the deal. Over and
you
over
gotta
again.
accept it. If you don't, then you might miss out on the money.
us, who's in a position to not accept deals right now?
So we have a couple of samples of the toys that we gave our cats. And I think maybe since this is an audio podcast, we can go around. Why don't we start with Adam and we'll go from right to left. And what did you bring to show us?
You
Adam?
know what's incredible? Of all these toys we have on the table, we have this rainbow ribbon, which Greg loves a lot. We have this little mousy thing that you can turn inside out and is a bird or something, and you can fill with catnip. He loves that. I gotta tell you, my cat's favorite toy of all time, I got it under here, is a loose string from a hoodie.
Yeah.
If I lose a hoodie string in the wash, Greg loves this. Greg and Holiday both. They love just a long hoodie string is their favorite toy by far.
Now, can I throw, first off, this is bringing up an opportunity to throw out a couple of cat facts that I have.
Please.
One is that there are the 3 types of cat toys.
Okay.
People should know. Active toys.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like rolling balls, floppy fish, things like that.
I think you're going to have more stuff like that. My
I
cats
do.
are not as interested in that stuff.
Then we have comfort toys. These are the stuffed animals, the plushies, the ones they like to sleep with. And then there are the catnip toys, which are the ones you can stuff catnip in or are filled with catnip.
Okay, so I would combine 2 of those. Okay, so the sleepy toy, like my cats don't sleep with any of their toys. They don't care about that.
Some
Maybe
cats
yours are-
do.
Yeah, but any of those plushy toys, if I put in a bag of catnip for a little while or rub it in catnip or put catnip in it or whatever, then they are interested in those toys for a little bit. If there's no catnip on them, though, they don't seem to care about them that much. So stuff like the ribbons and the strings and the thing with a bell on it that you kind of wave around. They're, I guess, the more active toys. They're
So
into that stuff.
that brings me to my second set of cat facts, which are these are the following items that are considered hazardous to cats: rubber bands, paper clips, milk jug rings, ribbon, and string. So, unfortunately, Adam, you are feeding your cats a hazardous toy.
Yeah, dude. So
Well,
you are.
Yes.
I won't say it's like it's not first degree murder.
Yeah, just
It
feeling
would
real
be like
bad
cat
over
slaughter.
here
We
now.
call it cat slaughter.
Cat slaughter is a great way to frame this.
Now, why?
Greg likes to be dangerous, dude.
But
Like,
you are the boss. You don't have to be.
I didn't give him a fucking cup of paper clips. Like I gave him, it's a string, and I'm holding the other end. If
not
he
yet,
swallows
guys,
it, I'll pull it out.
You guys can't see this, but I'm hiding my cup of paper clips that I brought from my house.
It just says Lily on the cup.
No, it doesn't.
It
So
says Lily's paper clips.
Wait,
Why?
you
Why?
need to know why?
I
Because
wanna know
they're
why.
ingestible. I think
They're
that's the
ingestible.
common denominator is that
Okay.
everything in there, the possibility is for, and cats have very tiny tracts. So, that's why we talked about this, I believe, on the food episode, how there are all these things that cats can't eat because they have seeds in them and they can get stuck in the cat's gullet or in its, bullshit, the intestines, whatnot.
My cat Pudge growing up did, and here's the thing I will say about this to defend it is I'm not just leaving him with string. When he's not playing with the string, I put it up on a shelf that he can't get on.
yeah, you
Whatever.
just tie it to the shelf, and the little noose hangs down.
Right. He puts his head through. It's a game. And
It's a good game.
Right as he turns blue, you cut the string.
Who wants a greenie?
Actually, I'll be honest.
bluey.
It's the only way Greg can come. So
He likes to get to the edge. I just,
Hold on.
Thank
That was
you.
good. That was not you.
Oh,
Hey, back out of the scene for a second. Zach, move in. All right, good.
thank you.
That's gonna be fun to edit. I can't wait.
well, screw it. I have
But I want to say, along the string line, my cat Pudge growing up did eat like a spool of dental floss. And we had to pull it out of his ass. After a trip to the litter box, he came out and he had like, a few inches hanging out. And my mom's favorite story to tell anybody, anytime, any excuse she has to tell someone that she pulled dental floss out of a cat's ass is
I believe,
great time for my mom.
and I can't. I don't know if I'm contributing it to the right cat. It's either Mary's childhood cat, Mac's cat, or her friend Marie's cat. During Christmas, and this feels really appropriate, ate a bunch of tinsel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they had to pull the tinsel from the cat's butt.
I was always told you don't pull it, right? It's like
I think
because
you're
it's
not
push
supposed
it.
to.
You're not
You push
supposed
it back
to.
in.
And then you eat it from the mouth.
Like
Yeah,
spaghetti. You suck
You
it
actually
in.
pull it from both ends, and you kind of like.
You can
well,
floss
if
it.
you plug
Yeah,
their
floss the
if
cat
you-
down.
Basically, what you do, you plug their nose and you blow in their mouth.
Okay, yeah.
You can also light it on fire, and when it gets to the cat's ass, it
Oh
explodes.
yeah, of course, yeah. The
Plenty
Wile
of
E. Coyote.
ways to take care of.
Also, however your family deals with
Yeah,
it. That's up to
seriously.
you.
So okay.
It's a private decision you have to make at home with your family.
And your doctor.
and pastor.
So Adam, back to the toys
And
here.
Jesus Christ.
Back to the toys here, Adam. So yes, you have the string. We all know evil. Don't ever
Yeah.
use that string. But what you do have here, and I was going to bring mine, the traditional version, which is what you have, is the little stick with a dancing piece of string on it.
Yeah.
So they can't
Yeah.
ingest this because you got a stick that you'll be able to pull it
Yep.
away from them if they try.
Both of them play with this a lot.
Now,
They
have
love
you ever
it.
thought about putting the shoelace or the hoodie string on a stick?
Funny you should say that.
Yeah.
Because in the other room, I have another hoodie string. It's actually, if I'm being honest, it's a sweatpants string, but
Oh.
same idea. And it is
During
tied.
those COVID depression
I
days.
don't know about you guys. Over the pandemic, I upped my wife. She bought me. We upped the all the. They were on. You're gonna have to edit this stumbling right here.
No,
The,
this is the. I'm gonna edit everything else.
To make you sound dumb.
loop this.
It's
Loop
just,
this.
PuzzyBoyz holiday episode. It'll just be our little wind up, the music, and then
Put a beat under this. No, I have tied one to another toy, and they love that one equally. Yeah, so sure. Yeah, tie a string to a stick, and your cat abuse problems are over.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's probably all he needs to do, right, Doctor Veterinarian Dan?
Do they eat the stick?
They don't eat the stick as long as you hold on to it tight. Otherwise, they'll eat the entire the ribbon, the stick, your hand.
Those
they're like a
ribbon
black
stick
hole.
toys, they do love the stick though. Like if they get close enough to the whole toy, they know it's the
They're
source.
fascinated by the whole thing.
Yeah.
You ever use the ribbon and the stick and catch your cat looking at your hand? Like, I know. Lily will do that every once in a while. She's like, I'm playing around with this because I literally can't help myself, but I'm letting you know right now, I see that hand.
That's why I always wear a black glove and I play with it against a black background so I can't see
I
it.
wear a full green screen outfit, and I'm assuming that's how it works.
It's interesting. I think Lily knows the trick of the stick, but they really can't. I don't know about Moch and Marv, but I know Lily can't deny when the stick comes out. Ours that we use has the ribbon, but at the end it has like a little feathery bird thing.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as she can see that thing's coming out, it's about the only time I ever get her to like jump up and like let's have a party.
Which makes you wonder do they think they're hunting for real, or are they like, fuck yeah, it's playtime, we're playing?
They don't think they're hunting because although there are toys that you can, this is through my research, of course, there are toys that look super realistic that can mimic the hunting. It's really about play.
That makes me happy.
That is what the
I
cat
like that.
researchers say.
When you ever notice, like when Lily will catch it sometimes, or really with any of her toys, there's a moment where she'll catch it, hug it, and then just start licking it.
Right. And
I'm like, are they going to do that to a bird if they catch it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can't really rip the head off of a stick anyway. So there's really nothing that she can do that mimics the real hunting process.
Right, and she can probably smell that it's not an animal.
She smells the blood not being there.
Right,
The warm,
right.
delicious blood. That's what she would react to if she wanted to actually hunt.
Now, Marv, is he a stick and a ribbon guy?
No, he's not. We've done it before. I think he understands the game. Honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, we have all these toys that he does like, but his favorite game is for me to run after him and chase him, and he goes sliding underneath the couch as fast as possible, and then I run into the other room and he comes blasting in there, and then we have to do it over and over again.
And you're dressed as a dog when that happens.
Yeah, that's much more of a dog game. That's fun.
I think he thinks I'm a dog, or he thinks I'm a cat. Something about it he really likes. But toy-wise, he likes things that are kind of stationary, that he can jump around on. He creates his own game. He doesn't need me to be part of the game. So, I've posted a couple of pictures of him with his basketball. I think that's probably his favorite toy. I didn't bring it because it'll look like a basketball, and I don't think he would let me take it, honestly. But he
I'm
likes
surprised Marv
rolling
lets you
it.
leave the house.
He was upset. He was really annoyed that I was leaving it for another podcast.
Every time you walk in, he's just like, "What is going on?"
He hates Wednesdays. He's a lot like Garfield, except it's about Wednesdays.
So, Moch, bird and a stick.
Moch is not interested in stick and ribbon, really. Moch's thing is about her favorite toy is this little sushi, and it's things that like can bounce, basically. Like the way that you would like flip like one of those little like paper footballs. Like you want it to like have a little bit of an action where you're like putting your hand down on it and it kind of rolls around. Mochi's whole thing is like a really crinkly ball that basically when she swats, it's got its own little action. Because I think she likes to set up the chase a little bit. So she hits it and rolls and goes for it.
Does she still play now?
A little. I mean, that's why I will say that I did not bring toys because they're not out.
She's not a kid.
I mean,
anymore.
I don't want to say like we can just call it like retired.
Yeah, she's a retired playful kitty, but I feel like every now and then we'll put it out, and she will. I think we get about 1 to 2 minutes of play a week.
She's like, that takes me back.
She's like, I hope you had fun with that. All right. It is sort of like when they do like the old retired baseball players when they do the old like senior game.
Old timers game.
Yeah.
The old timers game. It does feel like they were like, you're not really watching baseball. We all know that, but it's nice to see him out there.
Now, have you ever plunked down? I guess this is all of you question. Have you ever plunked down way too much money on a super complicated toy?
That was kind of my thing for a while. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the green toy you brought here.
Yeah, this thing was a real waste of money.
So we can talk about this now because the other thing that Lily was really into, or I thought, was these machines that where you. This is for people who are not seeing this clip or whatever, but like what Danny brought here is it's like a little half circle that sits on the ground, and you put batteries in it, and then you press a button, and then a little birdie chirpy thing starts to kind of come out different holes.
Yes, exactly. It's like a whack-a-mole kind of.
It's like
mechanism.
a whack-a-mole, except that when they hit it, it doesn't do anything different. It just kind of goes out, and it's supposed to be interesting to a cat because it makes all the bird sounds, and then it's that classic, like, if a cat sees like a little shadow or something move, is like more entertaining for a cat than like something big and loud. It just kind of wants to like a little tweet, and then it comes in, it comes out.
Right.
And then now your cat is trying to guess which hole it's coming out of, or it's supposed to anyway.
Yeah, and Marv did give this, kind of like Mochi, like a good solid 1 to 2 minutes, and then he just was absolutely done with it for all
Which
time.
we've all done as shitty teens when we got gifts at Christmas. We were like, oh, man, I love these Power Ranger sweatpants. And we pulled it up like we're going to wear
Dude, when I got the Talk Boy,
Oh, I had the Talk Boy
You had a
too.
Talk Boy?
I really thought the Talk Boy was going to change my life. I was like, I'm going
was
to be
big.
tricking babysitters into sucking my cock. You know?
Didn't your sister babysit you?
No, my sister's much younger.
That's the cock boy, Nick.
Sorry. But I mean,
That's all S's talk.
because the commercial, there's something, he's tricking somebody there.
He's always
I think
yeah.
he was tricking his sister.
In the
but still.
movie too. The movie was one big commercial for a Talk Boy.
I just thought it was this. I thought I was just going to be just raising hell with this thing, and I brought it home, and you realize that it's just like a tape. It's like an answering machine tape recorder that's like set up like a flute.
Yeah. I mean, it's handheld.
Yeah.
That was the thing about
Yeah.
it had like the straps. So
But there's like a tube that would come out, which is just the microphone,
Yeah.
but it looks like you're supposed to like hum on that thing a little
it's
bit.
like
but-
you're supposed to suck its cock.
Right,
That's what it is.
yeah.
You,
So-
you gave it a go. Let's
Hey,
be
you
real.
got to. I had to get some noises out of it somehow.
But yeah, that is a great example of a hyped up product.
Stacy. This is Nick's dad.
Oh, that was the secret of the Talk Boy. You slowed it down.
I was gonna make my voice sound super deep.
Yeah,
and then just
yeah.
trick this woman.
But that never works.
bed at 7:30 and he needs to have his wiener soft.
Now you can be as clever as Kevin with Tiger's new Talk Boy tape recorder.
Stop drooling on me. Stop drooling on me.
It even has speed control.
Hi, kids. We're home early.
Hi, kids, we're home early.
I would actually like to, just as an experiment, because you brought Holiday over here for a split second, just
I
to see
thought
what
it
she would
be
react
fun
to.
at putting on a table of toys. Maybe
Can we see if she would react to this mechanism here for a second?
We
to see
can.
if she likes this
Why don't
thing.
let's put it on the ground. I mean,
Yeah,
we don't-
put it on the
doesn't really
ground,
matter.
Adam.
Well,
This
do we
is
want to
the-
put it in the dead center so we can get it on camera?
Right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Adam has dropped the toy on the ground, and now it's being played. You could probably hear it a little in the background. And immediately, Holiday walked away and is
But-
looking at her other cats.
Just make her aware of it and see if anything changes.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
It is cool.
Like to us, the humans, we're like, of course this is interesting. She's scared of it.
She's scared of it.
I think the noise. I think it's too loud, and the mouse comes out a few too many times. Oh,
She's
Holiday's
looking at it. She is looking at it.
Holiday's looking at it.
Well, it's interesting. It is interesting whether or not she likes it. Now, another thing is, do you think Holiday, Adam, might
Be stupid.
That's a
Yes,
Holiday's
but the
stupid?
problem with that is my wife Deirdre listens to this podcast, and the last time I said she was stupid,
No,
she,
I think-
she came.
Holiday's
she was
looking at
mad
it, by the way.
She is.
Holiday's
She
straight
is
up
kind
staring
of
at
getting
it.
more interested here.
So Adam, do you think that Holiday, if this was her toy, that she would come up to it and play with it? Do you think it's kind of a turnoff that this is Marv's toy?
I don't think Holiday has any inkling at all that this is Marv's toy. Holiday. She's honestly not dumb. She's just a little slower than Greg sometimes when you put food in front of her. She's like not. She just doesn't just need to eat it right that second.
No, I
She's
actually
not
think
as
Holiday's
panicked
just
yet.
got class.
Yeah, I know Zach loves Holiday.
she would
but,
play. She's like Jessica Rabbit to this guy.
But she Holiday Holiday's more of like you'll just find her sleep, and she's a young cat too, but she just loves sleeping, and then every now and again she'll play with us. She's just not that playful of a cat.
the point is being made here, and this is the overarching point that every cat owner out there will relate to. It's always a waste. The more complex the toy is, the more the cat's not going to give a crap.
My experience was that with this cat or this toy it was same deal. It was blue, and instead of green, but the exact same toy. And it was about the exact same price point. Put it on the ground. Lily fucking lost it in a good way. So excited. Got really close to it. Then she would sit there and bat at it. And then it became where like, it was like a mobile or something for a baby. Like I would like, when Lily would look restless, I just would turn it on and she'd run to the room that it was in. And I would just see her like laying next to it and just like basically drooling, just staring at the bird pop out. It was
Incredible.
like so interesting to her. And then it just stopped. And so I was like, okay, well, that one we've had for like 6 months, so it's probably like not doing what she needs it to do. And I went and I bought a different version of it, and I brought it, and man, diminishing returns like a motherfucker. I mean, she liked it for like a day. And then I think I bought another one a couple months later, and she just doesn't have any interest in these things anymore.
I've never thought a cat had depression until now. Like there's something going on with.
I
with
just think
Lily.
maybe she grew out of it a little bit. She was kind of like a kitten, sort of, when she was doing this.
So that leads into a final cat fact that I'll throw out, which is that the cat scientists suggest that you should not flood your cat with a bunch of toys. That you should, if you do have a bunch of toys, you should only keep 4 or 5 of them available at one time. You should always be rotating your cat's toys so that they don't get tired of all of them at once. Scarcity.
Okay.
That's what leads to interest.
I was going to stop us before when we were talking about like who locks up their cat's toys. What are you, crazy? I don't, but I noticed if I leave, like I have this floppy fish out or I have this other, if I leave her like her carrot filled with catnip out, she will fuck with it for a couple of days, and then it just sits like over by her cat tree, and she just walks by it like it's a piece of shit on the bottom of her shoe. She doesn't care at all. But if I put them in the closet, and then like when I'm like, hey, I'm going to the cool closet, then she's like, huh? And then I like throw the thing out there. She's interested in it for like 10 minutes, and then she stops.
And
But
that's
it is,
pretty good for a cat.
It
I mean,
is,
they don't
is.
play like dogs where they're going to
It
play
is.
all
So
day.
I don't really have like the toys. Like she doesn't like, we have shit that's out for her, like older toys, but like those are just like, I leave those out just so like people like Adam don't walk into my house and go, who is this fucking sociopath cat owner with no toys out? Because really,
on the
what
other side of that, though, it's funny because whoever wrote that article clearly is like more like us, where it's like, you know, only leave 4 or 5 out at a time, where other people, maybe not listening to this podcast, obviously, but are like, who has more than 5 toys for their cats? Like, who has...
I think I have 70. I think there's
Yeah,
70
no, me too.
little pieces of shit around the
It's
house.
an impulse buy thing almost every time at the pet store.
So let me talk about my little pieces of shit that I brought here. So this is a variation on the little bird on a stick, which is a little monkey.
On a triangle.
And it's a triangle. And
Did you make that yourself?
no.
The monkey's for Nick, the triangle's for Lily.
So the
Now, I know that Marv sometimes chokes Danny's chicken. Does Lily ever spank your monkey?
no, but she
That's
did rip one
perfect.
of its legs off, which
Ah.
but so you're it has the access point here to put some catnip in his butthole, like a lot of these toys do. We did not, because we have so many like high-end, like this is one of those pieces of shit toys where you buy them and it's like, hey, we found some fucking catnip in the back of and they put it in a little like Coke bag and then they like put it in there and you're like, hey, check it out. But I have, like, as we were talking pre-pod, I have what's the brand that we use?
Meowawana.
Meowawana. I got a big
Please
jar of that.
sponsor us. We all use it and our cats
It's great.
love it.
It's great.
We smoke it.
It
Yep.
seems like more hearty, like better catnip than
Dank.
that little
It's
shitty.
dank.
I like my catnip to resemble
It's
weed,
kush.
not like a ground up Coke bag like this one does. So we didn't have any. But what's cool about this one is, in theory, you can use this little triangle at the end of it to hook it onto stuff, and because it's on a stretchy string, she would just go to town by herself on this and play. Does not work as advertised.
It looks like a stethoscope. It looks like you could put that in your
does.
ears.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you want with this triangle. It's amazing. But she loves this guy, and she loves the bounciness of the little. So I just have it doing like little marionette shows for her, and then I'll jump on her head a little.
Do you do
bit
a voice?
Oh, this little, yeah, but it's racist.
And that's how we've grown on this podcast. You're not going to actually do the voice.
And nobody can be offended because we don't know why it's racist.
So there This is my newest, most favorite toy that I've gotten for her, and this is what she likes. I just get variations of the bird on the stick. Now, I talked about this on a podcast that has not come out yet, but I also have a brand new, what we call in the biz, a floppy fish. Dan, you mentioned this floppy fish. This is an active toy.
It's an active toy, yes.
You turn it on, and then you can hear.
Whoa!
Wow.
We got to sample that.
Got
That
a little
sounds
more
good.
going on.
That honestly is for like EDM artists. to use.
Yeah.
I found that soothing.
Now
Yeah.
it moves around and flops around, and who knows if that podcast will ever come out. So I'll quickly tell this story again. I bought this for her. She had one from years ago, and it was a basic like orange salmon looking one. Then me and Ashley were in Pasadena, and there's this very nice fancy pet store there. And we ended up walking in there, and it was like, oh, and they had this one, which is like a fancier, like more boutique version. And I was like, oh, I'll buy this floppy fish for her because she'll understand that it's more expensive and more boutique, and that's why she doesn't.
You leave
like
the price tag
yeah,
on.
of course. So I threw this thing down for her, and she got afraid of it, and she hid from it, and she won't come out and look at it. Like if I turn it on and so I have to put it in the closet, and it stays in the closet now. She loved the floppy fish. She used to jump it, hump it, hug it, kiss it, and now she's just like afraid of them. So
Can you play the music again real quick?
Sure, hold on.
Is it music?
To his ears.
That is like the sound that plays in like a Cronenberg movie when
Yeah.
something really terrible's happening.
So yeah, we have a floppy fish here, and I really want the active toys to work because I feel so guilty about my cat like laying around, even though that's what they do. That I'm like, I can't just. How long am I supposed to walk around playing with this thing with you to make it feel like I'm being a good pussy boy?
Now,
a good
everything
cat
I've
dad.
read, I bet Danny's done this research. Everything I've read about playing with cats or videos I've watched about cats is they like really like 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. Like that's all they need to play.
It's like sex. You know, people say, oh, well, let's do it all night. 10 minutes tops. Yeah. And I think cats, they need to be played with, but at the same time, like, you know, they're sleeping 19 hours a day minimum.
I just love that Adam was like 30 minutes and Danny's like, it's like sex, 10 minutes tops.
10 minutes. I defy you to find a woman who wants it longer than 10 minutes.
You heard it here first, fucks. Do we have any other toys that anybody? Adam, you said that Holiday has something.
While we're on the holidays, I have a holiday thing. Actually, Greg was in it. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten those. You kind of like assemble at home these like kind of cardboard boxes, and they have like a scratch kind of layer on them that they like. We happened to get one that was a synagogue. It said like, well, okay, I don't think it was an actual synagogue, but it said like Happy Hanukkah all over it, and it had like a little roof on it, so we called it a synagogue. And Greg would go in there and he'd scratch on it and he'd play on it, and then he'd sleep in there. And we every time he was in there, we just said Greg's in shul, and we enjoyed that a lot around here.
It is fun. That's a fun way. Cat puns abound, but is that a toy? Because I was wondering, like,
Yeah,
like
you know
Lily
what? It's
does
more of
really
a
like a
scratch
scratcher, but like
more
I
of
think
a scratch thing.
I think a scratcher's maybe in a different.
Also,
It's a temple. I mean, it's
unfortunately,
Yeah, it's more of a
unfortunately, it had to shut down when a Trump supporter sent it death threats.
yeah, true.
I like the idea that Greg has to do like security outside of it. Make sure that
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, folks, we've explored so much wholesome cat toys and ways to keep your cat occupied. And Zach, though, you brought in a little. What is this? So we have a
I
quiz.
guess it's a little spicy. Something
a
we're
little
talking about
less
doing
wholesome.
something.
A little less wholesome.
This is a little game. I guess it's a little segment that I like to call sex toy or cat toy. Ooh. And so here's the deal.
Is there an all of the above?
Potentially.
All right.
I'm going to just give you guys, I'm going to go one at a time. I'm going to give you a toy. This is a common item that I found on Amazon.com. And I'll just tell you what it is, and you tell me if you think it's a cat toy or a sex toy.
Great.
And
Do
I'll
we,
tell you.
do we each get one? Is that
Yeah,
what
we'll
we're
just
doing?
kind of have fun with it.
All
First
right.
of all, I'm just making up the rules as I go, Nick. You don't have to pick it apart right now. All right, Adam.
Yeah.
Tippy Teaser.
Oh, we're just getting the name. Tippy Teaser.
Tippy Teaser.
Well, I'm gonna guess cat toy because I don't know what you would be tipping for the sex part
It's a
of it.
cat toy.
All
It's a
right.
cat toy,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it is for
figured,
tipping
yeah.
over. You nailed it. All right, Nick. Play and squeak. Play and squeak.
Well, I do think most of these things could be both. Doesn't matter if they were made for both. I mean, you'll figure it out. But I'm going to say this is a cat toy.
That's a cat toy. Excellent. Excellent
It's
job.
also what Nick calls his penis.
Yes. And what my penis calls me.
Speaking of things that Nick calls his penis, Danny, crunchy pickle.
You know, you're honestly
Crunchy
all you're
pickle.
doing is making me hungry. I think that this is a cat toy.
That is a cat toy. Ding, 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 ding. All right.
Zach's not allowed to look at sex toys on the computer.
That's fair. Yeah. I live so close to school. I don't know if that's how it works. The cat's paw.
oh, the cat's
The
paw.
cat's paw.
Cat's paw.
That could go either way, because why would a cat's paw be a... I'm going to guess sex toy.
Sex toy.
All right. Can you
Yeah.
explain how
it's
it works a little bit?
It's a paddle that looks like a paw. It's shaped like a paw. and
Okay.
Oh, it's for S&M.
Yeah. It actually, the whole title was SM Cat.
Oh,
Cat's
but that
paw.
would have given it away.
It would have given
Yeah.
it away.
Yeah.
All right.
Sleeps and meows?
Sleeps and meows. Sleepy meows. All right. Cat o' nine tails.
I've heard of this. That's a
Cat o'
sex.
nine tails.
That's a sex toy.
It is. It's a whip.
It's another whip.
It's a whip.
Wow.
It's a
there's so many
classic whip.
cat-themed sex toys. I had no idea.
Also, before that, it was used to beat Jewish slaves when they were building the pyramids.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now you kind of can get it. There's a theme that
Happy Hanukkah.
these are toys that could be. They kind of have these names that could go either way, right? Could be a cat's toy, could be a sex toy. So this is the last one for Danny. The 3-pound small male masturbator pocket pussy. Sex toy or cat toy?
Fuck, up until that last word, I thought it was definitely a sex toy, but then you said pussy, and that means cat.
Yeah.
How did they spell
does
pussy?
here.
It is with S's,
Oh,
unfortunately.
I think we know about that. then.
Well, because of the fact that I accidentally typed in our podcast with all S's and fucked around and found out, basically, I know that that's
Well, you
a sex
found out
toy.
and fucked around is how I would phrase it.
I fucked around, found out, and then fucked around.
Sex toy.
It is a sex
And
toy.
it is ding, 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 ding. You guys did great. That's how I know you guys have looked. You've shopped for a lot of cat toys, and you've searched for a lot of sex toys.
now that-
Anyway, this podcast is brought to you by Adam and Eve, and you can get a discount by we're still not sponsored. We're 2.5
We don't
years
know
in.
that.
we don't know that.
Well, we might be sponsored.
Meowarwana is clearly I think maybe our best chance.
I would love to.
me
And,
too.
and they're a giant company, though, I think, at this point. And we
Oh,
don't
yeah,
I
we
don't
get
know
them at
that
the big
all.
pet stores.
Yeah. But,
And my
so,
dealer.
So that pocket pussy, is that what you have to nail that to the floor, or how's that work?
I think you have to nail yourself to the floor. 'cause that's how
nail
much
it
you're going
to
to
the ceiling, and you have to fuck it while it's bouncing up and down.
well, you have
that
to
would
jump.
be a cat toy.
yeah.
Well, you know, we're rounding those bases. We got a little diarrhea in our pants.
We're sliding into third.
We're not home yet because we have another segment here, and this one teed up by our good veterinarian friend, Dr. Daniel Solomon. What do you got, Dan?
Just basically wanted to, in the theme of cat, there's all these very popular cat toys. I thought we could do better. We all know our cats. We all know cats in general. We are the experts now. We are the captains now. So I thought everybody gives their best pitch for a new cat product, and maybe that will get us the sponsorship we desperately need.
We'll sponsor ourselves with our own toys we made.
That's right. Does
that allowed?
anybody have one that they want to throw out there first?
I have an idea, and this is I don't have like a catchy name for it, but I think this would be a great experiential toy for cats. So basically, the idea is it's a Tom and Jerry themed. So it's a Tom costume. Like basically, you put like a thunder jacket that you put on your cat, and it's got a little hat because there's a lot of hats for cats. Makes him look like Tom from Tom and Jerry, but it has like the way that you'd hang like a carrot in front of a horse to like make him go, in like a cartoon. You basically have this like hanging thing that's a little Jerry, a little mouse.
Oh.
So your cat would be dressed like Tom, and it would be chasing around a little Jerry.
Super cute. I
All
like
right.
that.
That's just my pitch.
That's
and,
pretty good. Now, this actually is a good question here because we have this stick with a ribbon on it, and of course the Mexican monkey. I mean, the monkey that I brought here. But how often will you let? Because to me, they'll never catch that Jerry. Right? Is that sort of?
We don't know that.
But like, how often, Adam, are you allowing? Like, is there intervals where you're allowing your cats to catch these toys?
Yeah, well, clearly you don't leave that out, and they're not wearing it all the time. So you have to pick. I don't know. You have to be like, I don't know, once a week we bust this out. Tuesday.
No. I mean, like when you're playing with these things. Because my problem with the Tom and Jerry thing is, will your cat ever catch the mouse?
Absolutely not. I think
Then the show's over. Yeah.
But I do think, to Nick's point, I think there's a second, like an upsell, where you have a second costume where your cat could dress like Jerry and run away from Tom.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Has your cat ever wanted to be the mouse?
I think that's a
I
costume.
think that's interesting.
I think that's a human-sized Jerry costume, and you chase your cat around the house. Mine's kind of related to your toy,
let's hear
in
it.
a way, because you want to put your cat in a costume. And that's where I started, is we all want to put clothes on our cats, right?
Definitely.
But like my cat, I've tried to put a sweater on my cat, and I worry about this with your toy. He just flops down. He just lays down, and he's kind of gives up. So my cat hates wearing clothes. So I figured, what's the best way to get a cat to like wearing clothes? And so my pitch is edible sweaters for cats. And I don't know the science, but some sort of processed fish paste into clothing, and then if they hate
knowing
it,
that you had so much like Spencer's edible underwear hanging around.
That's-
You're like, there's got to be something I
it's
could do.
pretty much what I thought. Because what is Spencer's edible on? It's basically
Fruit
fruit
Loops.
roll up.
Yeah, Fruit Roll-Ups
right.
is what I meant to say,
So
yeah.
whatever chemically processed fish flavored, chicken flavored thing you can make that thin to put on your cat, and even if they hate it, they will eat their way out of it and learn to love it.
So he's going to look so cute.
Yes.
And he's going to stink up the entire house everywhere he goes.
Yes.
All day in what I can only assume is the hot sun. This stinky fish is going to permeate.
I don't know if
The
I
entire
imagine
building.
the hot sun.
I mean,
just
we're
imagine
indoors. It's winter.
But I do think there's something funny about how disgusting the hairballs will be, because this cat's
Yeah.
gonna lick himself. Just
Yeah, you're
bone
right.
Dry.
Well, it's not a perfect idea, but
I like it.
But
It's
your
the
cat
start
didn't
of an
like
idea.
that thing, and that's in all the
That's true.
stores.
Scientists and cat
There's
researchers
no
came together
such
on
thing
this.
as a bad idea except for Adams. And so let's go, Nick. What do you got?
Mine's pretty simple. It's a big fat robot me. And you just put the bird and the stick in the robot fat me's fat hand, and then you turn me on, and I walk around the apartment and go, look, over here. And then I'm fucking in the other room just jacking off or whatever. It doesn't really matter because I don't have to be the person holding
You're in
it.
the other room turning Nick on.
Now, here, because to me,
Finally, a
ultimately-
reason to make a a functional robot.
Right. To me, the thing that my cat wants the most is me to interact with it. So if this goddamn thing, you press the button, you walk out of the room, they don't care. As soon as you leave the room, they're like, hey, what's up? I thought we were partying. Like, what's going on? So it really just, they need something that seems like a person like me just holding one of the, $8 toys that I've bought them. So, I mean, that's it. That's I think
Just
the
a
best we can
robot
do.
in our corner going, bad Lily, bad Lily, bad Lily.
Have you ever thought about getting one of these for Ashley too? Just cover all your bases?
Yeah.
But how would she turn Nick on?
I'd worry that she wouldn't fuck it either. And no, that's a horrible joke at the expense of my beautiful wife.
I was waiting for the womp womp.
So yeah, I mean, that's simple. I feel like all of these toys have one thing that they need, and that's a human sort of getting it going. And like even the catnip stuff, I mean, she fucks with that for a little bit, but then eventually, like, she's all hopped up on that, and she's following me around. Like, well, now what are we doing? We got high. Let's hang. And you know. So yeah, I mean, it's the best I could do is a full on robot.
Very good.
So I'll knock one
fucking
final one
laughed.
out. Really, for all these toys that I buy, Marv, this one's a fish inside a taco shell. It's supposed to be a fish taco. This is the chicken-shaped one. This one's shaped like a hedgehog. All these things are shaped like things that Marv is supposed to be interested in. But what he's really interested in is feet. He loves rubbing on feet. He loves smelling feet. He's into feet. I want to get a plushy foot toy. You can fill it up with something stinky, fish paste, Limburger cheese, whatever you want. fishy foot.
A real Quentin Tarantino over here.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
Quentin
waiting for
Meowantino,
where
I
you're gonna
think,
go
is
with
where
that,
we
yeah.
decided. I think last time we talked about cats. and feet.
Stinky feet. He likes feet, huh?
He likes feet?
Toe and teen toe.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
There
a
are.
lot of toes in
And
there.
unfortunately, we just don't have the time to get into
We
all
don't.
none of
We
this
don't.
It's
We
podcast.
have to
only
move
a
on.
3-hour-long podcast.
Because we have to get to our final segment of the pod, and that is Cat of the Week. Who's the person? Is Dan? Did you find this Cat of the Week, or somebody else
I
did?
did. So this cat of the week, I think we can all agree that big cats still count as cats.
Sure.
And,
They don't fucking purr, though.
They don't purr.
They don't
They don't
purr.
purr,
That's
but it's
the
all right.
one differentiator. But we'll let it slide because this is such a great story. So last week, I guess, depending on when this is out, a lion escaped from the circus in Rome and wandered to the nearby town of Ladispoli, Italy, where it walked around freely for 5 hours.
Amazing.
And of course, it was after that time of walking around and getting videoed by everybody in the town, it was captured and sedated and brought back to the circus. But for a brief time, there was a giant lion on the loose, living freely and feeling itself. I think if that's not a cat of the week, I don't know what is.
No injuries.
And nobody got
It
ate.
didn't fuck anybody up, and thank you, Italy. They didn't fucking kill the lion.
I feel like-
here
Right.
they would have put down.
Yeah.
We
me
always
too.
put down the animal. The moment it starts to get a little agency in its life, we just decide to shoot it.
I feel like it would have been Cat of the Year if it would have fucking killed a whole bunch of people. But
Or just eating some gelato or
Yeah,
something. You would have been
something cool.
like, hell yeah.
do something.
I mean, it is. If it's from the circus, we can assume that it is probably not from Italy. That maybe this is a lion that it's touring different countries.
I don't think any lion is from Italy,
That's
by
fair.
the way. I think they're
no,
all
but
from...
I mean, like, I like the idea that he's just like,
I
it's
don't
some
know,
like Eastern European circus that's coming through town, and he's just like, I'm in fucking Italy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
like the
wanna see
vacation of a
this.
lifetime. There are people we know who've never been to Italy.
I
They may never go.
recently got brought to Las Vegas for work, and I got to tell you, the moments where I was not at work and just walking around, that's when I had the most fun.
Yeah.
And you didn't maul anybody.
2 people.
Oh,
Which is good for you.
you're Cat of the Month.
Cat of the month.
It must have been exciting for a cat to be in Italy with all of Garfield's favorite foods.
That's
That's,
true.
I mean, cats are
Pizza,
naturally drawn.
Lasagna, pepperoni.
Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you
Abu
guys. I
Dhabi?
went in the article. I kind of deep dove and I watched almost all the videos that just people took, and they're really
Yeah.
interesting. And I have a pitch for you, Nick, that should be one of our sound cues forever now. It's the most. I don't know if you guys saw it. The most Italian thing you could ever. What would you imagine an Italian lady would yell if she looked out the window and saw a lion go by?
Mamma mia.
She fucking did it, and it's so funny. It's so funny. She literally just is outside lady with a cell phone going, "Mamma mia," with a lion running by.
Madonna Santa. Mamma mia.
Incredible.
Got to play it in there. We'll edit that in.
We'll figure it out. Folks, that is our podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Remember, rate our podcast 5 stars and give us a nice review on Apple Podcasts and name your cat and or cats, and we will shout your cats out. That's
We'll
how
do
you
it.
get that. We've done it before.
we'll yell
We
out your
will
cat's name.
Do it again. And subscribe over there. We're on Spotify. Subscribe on Spotify. We're on SoundCloud. Give us a repost on SoundCloud. Do your part.
Get your cat something nice. Happy holidays.
Oh yeah, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
There
And
you
follow
go.
us, PuzzyBoyzPod on everything, I think, is what we are, which is
Yeah.
really Instagram and TikTok. So there you
Meowy Christmas. I'm bringing it back.
go. Meowzeltov.
Mamma mia.
What did Meowy Christmas to everyone? What?
You thought so hard.
Yeah.